Charles Sprewell will not play due to injury. Assistant coaches Jeff Van Gundy and Jeff Knicks, and the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Well, when the Knicks and the Warriors met out in Oakland in mid-November, the Golden State Warriors won that game 109-100. Warriors have won the last two against the Knicks. They've had success against the Knicks in recent years. In the past, the Warriors have used the running game to go up against the Knicks. We asked Don Nelson about that.
We've actually played very well here in New York and against the Knicks in general. But our team is different now. We're having a hard time scoring points. We're having a hard time running, rebounding. Our skill level is down because of the injuries, so we'll probably have to play more the New York game than we like to.
Don is dreaming, unfortunately, because he doesn't have a big man like Ewing to throw the ball to inside, but he's talking about style. They just won't be able to do what they can with Sprewell, who burned the Knicks last year for 41 points when he visited the Garden.
But I'm certain that Pat Riley has reminded his ball club of the meeting with the LA Clippers last week and the fact that the Knicks did not seem to be psychologically ready to play against the Clippers. The end result, not a fun game to watch. The Knicks did come out with the victory, 87-74, but Pat Riley not satisfied with what he saw. Then the next night, the Knicks lost in Charlotte before turning it around against the Suns on Sunday. Charles Smith getting inside on Tom Guglielmo, and the foul is called.
Well, Marv, a lot of that traces to shooting the basketball. Against the Clippers, it was 45%. Against Charlotte, it was 40%. So against the teams you really should handle without too much trouble, Pat Riley has to hope his team shoots and makes 50% or better from the field, as they've certainly demonstrated that they're capable of.
Charles Smith had a good shooting game against the Suns, 6 for 12, 12 points. Word has been seeping out that his knees are bothering him once again, trying to work his way out of a downswing after playing so well. The Golden State Warriors have not had 12 healthy players in uniform since December the 6th. 23 games back, and as we mentioned right at the start, they have only 9 players available here today. That's because of a host of injuries and a one-game suspension. Morton had it knocked away. Here comes Monty Williams. Pass too strong for Patrick Ewing. And Tim Hardaway walks it up.
That's something Monty Williams will have to learn as time goes on. That you don't surprise Ewing with those bullet passes too close to him.
Hardaway. Well, Hardaway losing his man and going baseline, and he's tied the game at 2. Patrick Ewing guarded by Victor Alexander. Now David Wood comes over to help. Shot clock at 6. Offer script. Hardaway has Morton. Here's Morton. The tip missed by Gugliotta. The save by Williams, but he stepped down. Wayne Morton wearing number 50 in the starting lineup, a rookie out of Louisville. made it back from a fractured thumb. There is Wayne. There are several new names on this Golden State roster.
For some reason, it's games like this from the Knicks' perspective that you have to give yourself a greater effort forward. You've got to work harder. Against Phoenix, against certain games here at the Garden, the flow is there. The effort is there naturally. But against a team like this, to make shots like this, you've got to work that much harder to excel.
And Hardaway able to hit the 3 from deep in the corner. The Warriors 5. The Knicks 2 with 2 minutes gone by. The Knicks have won 8 of the last 9 here at home. Ewing and Alexander with the rebound. This is their 4th home game in 8 days, while the Warriors spending their time on the road. 4th of 5 games on an 8-day road trip. Gugliotta is looking for the pick and roll with Alexander, except Alexander did not roll. Monty Williams for Derek Harper. 5-4 Golden State.
Part of Gugliotta's getting to know you with his new teammates, although it's been a while, his moves like that. Gugliotta, very unselfish player, an excellent passer, but and Alexander wasn't on his wavelength at all.
And Alexander able to hit. He thought he was fouled.
You know, those are the signs that tell Pat Riley or a coaching staff that, uh-oh, they're going to make shots like this, and the one Hardaway made, this could be a tough evening.
Knicks are down by 3. Again, the double team on Ewing. Harper for 3. Yes. So, Derek Harper continues the personal streak he has hit from downtown on each of the last 18 games. And the score is tied at 7. Tom Gugliotta, local product, Huntington, Long Island, has not had particularly strong games here on the Garden Court. And a foul is called. Hold on Harper.
Marv, you mentioned Tom Gugliotta's experiences here at the Garden with the Washington Bullets. He has not been a double-figure scorer. Rebounding is good. His assists are fine, but the shooting at 26% for 5 games is very, very poor. Not symbolic of his play against the rest of the league.
Morton being guarded by Starks, and they isolate for Morton. Now Smith over to help. Gugliotta way off. And here's it from the crowd. John Starks, one-time Golden State Warrior, getting it to Charles Smith, who is bumped.
However, it was costly as Gugliotta comes up limping.
And the ball back to the Knicks, says the outside official Joe Borgia. Tommy Nunez taking a look, and he agrees.
I couldn't quite tell if perhaps Charles Smith crashed into Gugliotta or stepped on his foot, perhaps, but the last thing Don Nelson wants to see is a limping player. And that's what he's seeing there.
Now Smith posting. Wood over on the help. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks, who comes off a 22-point game against Phoenix, has given the Knicks a 10-7 lead. Golden State Warriors with a very poor performance Sunday afternoon in Chicago. Lost to the Bulls 116-94. That final score does not really provide a true measure as Alexander cuts it to a 1-point Knick lead. The final score doesn't tell how bad it really was. They were down by 22, John, after 1 quarter. It was 35-13. The Knicks call for time. 7:09 remaining in the first.
Charles Minlin, Zendon Hamilton, Felipe Lopez. Don't miss St. John's as they battle UConn live from the Garden Saturday night on MSG2.
Your home or out Dante. When your family wants great food, call our family. Dante Famiglia Pizza and Pasta. For mouth-watering Italian specialties delivered oven fresh to your home.
Today's hard-hitting sports issues are the hot topic every month as Bob Page hosts Page One. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a blast with all the great February sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
mention a moment ago that John Starks at one point played with the Golden State Warriors, signed with them as a undrafted free agent 88-89, and this is vintage footage. John Starks as a member of the Warriors.
You know, when you look at John Starks' thighs up close in this look back, you see why he's such a good leaper. The guy has such strong legs, but wearing the styles of today with the pants at knee length, well, it's a whole different look that John Starks presents now than he did way back then.
Chris Gatling, who just came on, was called for that foul. Starks played 36 games with Golden State, 88-89, was used sporadically, averaged 4 points per game. Knicks with a 1-point lead. Alexander has a good outside shot. Victor Alexander providing the Warriors with an 11-10 advantage. Nicely done. And John Starks able to give the Knicks a 1-point lead.
I must say, Monty Williams makes the most of his minutes. That was a beautiful pass.
David Wood guarded by Monty Williams. Wood is fouled, pushed by Williams.
Well, I thought Monty Williams played him well. He didn't get away from Monty, but he obviously had a good enough move to incur some physical banging by Monty Williams.
For David Wood, this is his 5th different NBA team in 5 years. Chicago, Houston, San Antonio, Detroit, now Golden State. Remember Rolando Blackman took a swing at David Wood last year? It's not easy to do to get Rolando that upset with someone. It was the mild-mannered looking David Wood who touched a nerve.
Well, perhaps it has something to do, Marvin. I say this with all respect, with David Wood being a mediocre player, and he might have incurred the wrath of a sensitive Rolando, who was going through his own frustrations. Wood, by the way, is starting his 4th game tonight. He started against the Knicks earlier in November when they met. Only played 10 minutes, didn't score.
Starks off the steal. Sets up Harper for 3. Yes. Harper, his 2nd from downtown, and the Knicks lead 15-12. What was most satisfying for the Knicks in the win over Phoenix the other day was the rebounding advantage, 62-36. Season high for the Knicks, 62 rebounds. Led by Anthony Mason, a career high 19. Hardaway fires the 3, and a sweeping rebound by Charles Smith. Monty Williams. That would have been very pretty.
Monty was on his way in stronger, but he realized the defense was in front of him. He didn't want to commit the offensive foul.
Hardaway. He may be well on his way to the 35 points that you made reference to at the start. Hardaway 3 of 4, has 7 points. Knicks by 1. Smith. Charles Smith forcing the issue. Looked like he and David Wood had some words. Ewing up tight on Alexander after Alexander hit from the outside. Now Alexander working down low. Alexander rebounded by Wood. Wood sets the pick. Golden State Warriors have really slowed things down. In contrast to earlier in the season, they won 7 of their first 8. Looked to be a dark horse championship contender. Wood hits the 3. Remember all the optimism about Golden State right after the Knicks played?
Absolutely. Then they picked up Ricky Pierce, who was a point-a-minute player in the NBA.
Starks. Well, the Knicks had hit their first 3 from downtown. Starks back to break it up. Harper called for a traveling violation. And here's Anthony Mason checking in along with Anthony Bonner, replacing Charles Smith and Monty Williams.
Don Nelson breaking the rules, walking out in the court, talking to his player. He was reminded by the official that he was out of bounds, and Don acted very responsibly and moving quickly off the court.
Anthony Bonner involved in one of the most exciting plays of the season this past Sunday with that what looked to be a blocked shot of Dan Marley. That was called a foul, and referee Joey Crawford made the call. And then a note in Pete Bessie's column today in the New York Post. Alexander fires one up, fast break for the Knicks. Starks pulls it up and then changed his mind. Ewing. Yes.
Oh, what a simple game for Patrick. Just comes strolling down over half court. No one picks him up, gets a nice pass, making it look easy.
After Bonner was upset about the call, and you rarely see Anthony get praised over a call. He was hit with a technical foul, and Joe Crawford said afterwards, according to Pete Bessie, that it's probably the worst call he's made in 18 years. And Wood hears it from the crowd. And he also said he'll recommend to the league that Anthony Bonner not be fined for that technical foul. We'll be right back.
According to the man who did it, but this is a moment ago was on display Sunday with an incredible block of Dan Marley. Oh, look at that stuff. Clean block according to the man who did it, but this is Anthony Bonner's response. That earned him a technical foul from official Joey Crawford. As you just said, Marv, probably the worst call I've made, according to Joey Crawford in Pete Bessie's column today. I'll recommend to the league that Anthony not be fined for that. Very graceful of Joey Crawford to do that. Also a very confident official. A veteran of his status, and he has high status in the league, and the confidence was shown by his remarks.
And Bonner called for the foul here by Mike Mathis, a loose ball foul. Yes, it is very unusual, although you'll see it from time to time, that an official will come out with a statement like that, and it just shows, as you say, the confidence that he has in himself, and he is one of the best officials in the league.
Also, Marv, you think of the very controversial play that Joey was involved with a week or so ago with Scottie Pippen of Chicago, with Pippen having that outburst of throwing the chair off what appeared to be a simple call. And I think Joey wanted to get some good feeling, you know.
The rejection by Ewing. And it's currently a loose ball foul on David Wood. Another wild shot by Wood to start that sequence. The Knicks and the Warriors are tied at 17, just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hubert Davis has come on for the first time, so Davis and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Mason, and Bonner up front. Shot clock is at 6. Starks for 3. And the rebound is batted out by Alexander. And here's a limping Tom Gugliotta reporting back in, replacing David Wood. Wood leaves with 4 points. The Knicks have the full 24. Davis got the step. Beautiful extension by Hubert Davis, had the step, and then was able to get it up over Dwayne Morton. And the Knicks now lead 19-17.
Watch out, Pete. I'm up.
Now Nelson getting set to insert the 5'7" Keith Jennings.
Boy, that Knick defense from behind as Ewing went out to double team. Tim Hardaway, 3-point shot for him. Good ball movement in response to the Knicks double teaming of the big men.
10 points for Hardaway. He's hit 2 of 3 from downtown. Golden State by 1. Ewing. Gugliotta rebound. 35 seconds left in the quarter. Hardaway again, a 3-point attempt. Both looking for the rebound stat there, John.
So, but Anthony Mason deferred to the captain. Patrick Ewing had his hands on it. He's a little taller.
20 seconds remaining in the quarter. Starks way off on a rebound. Nice dish for Ewing, and he's fouled by Gugliotta. So Tom Gugliotta called for his second, and here is Keith Jennings, who had an impressive game against the Knicks earlier this season. Jennings in his third year out of East Tennessee State. He is a threat from three-point range. Guy who made it back last year from a torn knee ligament. Patrick Ewing shooting well at the line. It was 9 for 10 at the foul line against the Phoenix Suns. Note last night, Suns bounced back against the Cavaliers, beat Cleveland, and Paul Westphal did a complete shuffle. Someone stepped in too quickly. Looked to be Gatling, so another shot for Ewing. But Paul Westphal, changing his concept, did not go with Joe Klein or Danny Shays. Cleveland not a threat at the center these days, so with Raymond Tisdale at center, Dan Marley put in the starting lineup, along with Danny Manning. So we might see some changes by the Suns.
That was mysterious how Paul Westphal didn't play Manning much in the second half.
Alexander. And that's the end of the first quarter. The score, the Knicks 21 and Golden State 20.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. By Payne Weber. And by Coca-Cola. Always jammin', always Coca-Cola.
Slow starting Knicks, though. We'll take a Perry Ellis look now at one of the good moves of the first quarter. John Starks alertly jumping into the passing lane. Handling the ball well enough to get it to Derek Harper for a three-point shot. Derek is helping the Knicks with a fine first quarter. Good shooting by him. A couple of three-point shots. And he has been the outside game for the Knicks after one.
And Golden State out-rebounding the Knicks 10-5 in the first quarter. So a reversal by the Knicks, who was so strong off the boards on Sunday.
This is one of those games, Marv, that has the look of the Knicks certainly expecting to win this game, but they may have to do it laboriously and with their numbers and their depth.
Alexander, and rebounded by Ewing, and batted away by Gatling. It'll be Nick Ball. The Knicks come into tonight winning 15 of the last 17, 7 of the last 8. And looking ahead, they have Friday against Philadelphia at the Spectrum, and then the big one Sunday afternoon in Orlando. Another major test for the Knicks. Once again, Hubert Davis able to get the step, but he was rejected. Ewing again. Very difficult angle shot for Patrick Ewing, and the Knicks lead by 3.
Patrick directly under the basket, found it difficult to deal with it, but he got it done.
The Knicks have taken the first 2 meetings against the 76ers, including an overtime win in Philly. That's Gugliotta. And the Knicks lead is 1. And they split the 2 games with Orlando, winning here at the Garden on a last-second shot by Ewing and blown out by the Magic earlier this season. Remember, prior to the game, Pat Riley saying they don't respect us. And as it turned out, that may have been accurate.
That was trying to get his team ready for what appeared to be a very difficult night, and which certainly was.
Here comes Starks, 3-on-2. Nice pass from Mason. Bonner from Mason, and the Knicks with a 25-22 lead.
You know, the Knicks were wrestling for so many weeks with that non-road mentality that Pat Riley wanted to see, a toughness. And boy, when you're on the road against the good teams, you can't wait to get into the game. You got to start right away, and that's what the Knicks didn't do in Orlando.
Hardaway Played well by Starks. Still got off a good shot. Starks rejected and fouled. John Starks with 2 good moves on that sequence, and then was fouled by Gugliotta. And Ewing will sit down. Here's Charles Smith back. Ewing with 4 points, 5 rebounds.
Starks explodes to the basket now. Chris Gatling comes in, sends that shot away, almost a goaltend.
Knicks have a 3-point lead. We are early second quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutman, Walton, Clyde Frazier from the Garden. John Starks uncharacteristically missing 2 in a row. And a foul on Starks. Here's David Wood checking back in. Starks replaced by Hopper.
These are the moments a player hates to come out of a game. Missing 2 foul shots, committing a foul. It's a long walk to the bench for John. Not that it's a critical moment, certainly, but he demands a lot of himself, and you can see how his expression indicates how he feels inside.
So Hopper is guarding Hardaway. Hardaway got the step. And a goaltend. The basket counts. Bonner called for the goaltend. The Knicks 25 and the Warriors 24. Pat Riley gave the Knicks a day off yesterday. The Knicks have played 7 games in 10 days. Usual day off. Here's Bonner. Anthony Bonner with a 10-footer.
Where's that shot been?
Alexander able to beat Smith down court, and the Knicks now lead by 1.
Explain that move by Bonner. It was beautifully executed. He looked like he was in total control of the move. I believe it's the first time we've seen such a move from Bonner.
Anthony Bonner has had a very fine year. We've talked often about the fact that he has improved his free throw shooting, and he's provided energy off the bench, but it has reached the point where Anthony Bonner hits a jump shot from 10 feet and beyond. You remember the shot. I'm saying to myself, remember that side jump from a couple of weeks ago, 15-footer? It kind of sticks with you. Here's Wood.
Well, it was the move that was so beautiful, too, that preceded it.
Davis, the 3. Hubert Davis from downtown, and the Knicks lead by 4. 22nd timeout called by Don Nelson. Assistant coaches Bob Sami and Jeff Van Gundy have been working on the offensive phase of Anthony Bonner's game, and it has paid off because from time to time we'll see Anthony come up with a new twist. And this is an illustration as he puts the move on the taller Victor Alexander.
Yes, and a fall-away jump shot, much like the great scoring small forwards in the NBA execute their jump shots, and that was beautifully done. There was no discomfort in that move.
The Knicks 30 and the Warriors 26 with 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And David Wood comes out of the backcourt against Anthony Bonner. Now look at this guy. It's amazing, the resemblance to Robert Mitchell. Unbelievable. Oh, you know, you said that last year.
That's ridiculous. How can you say such a thing? I mean, usually I bring that up and you shoot me down, so I'm, you know, Mark.
Well, take a look. We brought, you know, we brought the material with us.
Wait a minute. There is,
as I've been saying all along, there is an uncanny resemblance.
Wouldn't Robert Mitchum love to be compared to a 20-some-odd-year-old guy right now?
Who goes 6'9", 230 pounds. But John, and all candor, I must admit, unless that photo was doctored by our staff, you're right on.
You're obviously in a weak moment.
Traveling violation call.
I got it, nice go.
The Knicks now with Harper and Davis in the backcourt. Smith with Mason and Bonner on the front line.
Let's see now if Tom Gugliotta can remind Don Nelson of Dave DeBusschere. That's the next look-alike challenge.
Well, the Knicks turn it over. Here comes Keith Jennings. Gugliotta for three. And it comes to Wood. Alexander, a beautiful pass, and it leads to the foul committed by Smith. Gugliotta will go to the line.
Bounce pass inside to Alexander. He's got the good position. Hands off to Gugliotta, who got in front of Charles Smith. That's always a problem when a big man like Tom Gugliotta gets in front of his opponent.
The Knicks by 3 points. This is a Golden State team that is now without Latrell Sprewell to make things even worse. Sitting it out with a sprained right foot. Back home in Milwaukee, Don Nelson told Latrell, coming out of the game in Chicago, might as well spend a day or two at home, so he stopped off in Milwaukee. Remember the 41-point game by Sprewell against the Knicks last season, one of the dazzling performances in the history of Madison Square Garden. Shot clock is down to 2, and it's a 3-second violation that is called. Chris Gatling is checking back in, but the Knicks take a timeout.
Next week.
Will be an all-star. Mullen, Hardaway, Sprewell. The lineup tonight is a lot different with Gugliotta, Wood, Alexander, Hardaway, and Morton. Tom Gugliotta, watch his right knee. Charles Smith's right knee colliding. Gugliotta hobbled by that. Moved by Charles Smith. He limped. He played a while. He came back in. He didn't seem to be limping over the last few minutes, but he just went to the locker room as the pain must continue. He might demand some ice on that leg.
And this is a Warrior team that is down to 9 men, with Cycli out with tendonitis of the ankle. I mentioned Sprewell with the sprained right foot, plus 3 players on the injured list: Chris Mullen, Ricky Pierce, and Manute Bol. The Warriors hoping that Mullen will return after the All-Star break. Chris Mullen has played only 2 games this season, missed the first 29 with a knee problem, missed the last 8 with a sprained ankle. The Knicks 30 and the Warriors 27. Davis and Hardaway comes away with it.
That was not the usual Hubert Davis move where he's set, ready to shoot that ball. He did it on the move, which shows more confidence in his game. He's trying to do some things a little differently, shooting on the move by himself without a pick.
Jennings setting it up. The shot clock running down. It's at 5. And an offensive foul on Alexander, setting an illegal pick. That's his first foul. Don Nelson does not like the call. Then you look over at Don Nelson. I don't think that Don Nelson's worst nightmare has been as painful as his season has been. And you wonder where he'll be next year at this time.
So much so, it appears this will be his last year, based on all the vibrations of the season thus far, as Charles Smith hits the jump shot.
The Knicks with a 32-27 lead. We were talking a moment ago about Latrell Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell, not a happy guy, and there have been all kinds of trade rumors. Perhaps a Scottie Pippen, Latrell Sprewell deal amongst speculation. Traveling violation called, and the ball goes back to New York. Now Bonner and Davis sit down. Ewing and Starks return. The Knicks with the ball and a 5-point lead as they double up on Harper.
3 seconds.
Ewing. Patrick Ewing making contact with Chris Gatling, who will try to lure the foul, and says something to Mike Mathis. The Knicks lead by 7, and it represents their biggest lead of the game. 7-1 run by the Knicks. It is really strange to see the Golden State Warriors playing this style of ball, but there's no choice. Just holding on to the ball, using as much of the 24 as they can.
They don't have the personnel to execute a fast running game that they like to play. They don't have it here tonight.
Ewing missed the easy putback.
Oh, how could he miss it? He must be thinking.
And again, Jennings out to reset as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in this first half. You watch the Warriors operate as Wood fires one up, just beating the 24-second buzzer. It's as if we're watching an undermanned college team looking to gain some degree of control of the game. Hoffer for three. Rebound, Ewing. So the Knicks get the new 24.
Think about it too, Mark, taking another step further, or a CBA game where guys are trying to make the NBA and hoping that the stands are filled with NBA scouts. Of course, we'll excuse Tim Hardaway from that aspect of the discussion.
It'll be Golden State possession. Knicks by 6 with 3:25 left second quarter, and after the Warriors had their way off the boards in the first quarter, Knicks have been able to turn it around. Ewing with 7 rebounds in the second quarter. Gatling. And he drew the foul. Charles Smith picks it up. Chris Gatling has had strong games against the Knicks over the years. In his 4th season out of Old Dominion, a local product from Elizabeth City, New Jersey.
Gatling against the Knicks on November 17th had a very solid game, a very important part of their success against New York in that 9-point win for Golden State. 29 minutes of play, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 7 of 8 from the field. Look at his field goal percentage as a member of the Warriors. Wilt Chamberlain, only the better field goal percentage player over the years than Chris Gatling.
He has made strides with his low post offense and his condition. At one point, he was the starting center. Last year, shot a career high 59%. Ewing shot that off the heel of the right hand. Looked like it slipped down.
Incidentally, that video message we showed about Gatling's field goal percentage, that was all time in the NBA. Only Wilt Chamberlain had a better field goal percentage.
What a video message you refer to, John. Gatling.
Radio. Let's
guys in the control room
billboard.
Very puzzled by
it was a video billboard.
Your terminology there.
Video billboard. I like that better.
You have really thrown him. The electronic wizard Howie Singer pointing out you are changing the face of television as we know it. Timeout is called. We'll be right back.
The Rangers head for Pittsburgh to take on Yarmur Yager and the Penguins Wednesday night right here on MSG.
If you're shopping around for a new car, it makes perfect sense to visit the one dealership that displays the most popular brands. Hi, I'm Bob Neister for all my friends at East Hills Chrysler Jeep in Roslyn. Whether you want to buy or lease a brand new Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep, or Eagle, you're sure to find what you're looking for when you visit East Hills Chrysler Jeep. It's the one place you'll find a complete inventory without disappointment. And when it comes to price, you'll find my friends at East Hills Chrysler Jeep very, very customer friendly.
One Toa Mitsubishi unleashes the power of the price wizard.
Your price is my command, and I'm granting powerful deals.
The 95 Galant ES at prices you've only dreamed of. 95 Eclipses at prices you won't find in Newsday. 95 Montero leasing at hundreds less. One Toa Mitsubishi sells and leases more in 1 month than most dealers do all year.
One Toa Mitsubishi. Put my power to work for you.
up to the minute. That's why millions of fans find just what they're looking for with MSG Sports Desk. News, views, scores, highlights, with a team of pros to bring you all the latest. Gus Johnson, Mike Crispino, Mike Quick with area high school sports, and the always straight shooting Bob Page. Get the real deal every night with the New York sports leader, MSG Sports Desk. Only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Well, we look at Don Nelson, who has gone through a very stressful season, which is the subject of a major cover story in USA Today today. Stress on coaches. Don Nelson spent some time in the hospital with viral pneumonia several weeks ago. His son took over in his absence. The Chris Webber trade brought a lot of stress on Don because most people felt that it was a bad move by Golden State. He felt that stress. Don Nelson was just out in the court, as we showed you, arguing a call during the timeout. Don said, I've changed after all of this. In today's USA Today, as I mentioned, I'm going with the flow more. He said, I teach whether the players listen or not. I coach a good game, then I don't worry about it. Well, when the game started, it sounded good, but he's into it now.
Offensive foul on Smith. We've received a report on Tom Gugliotta. He suffered a bruised right knee, but he may return.
Charles Smith bullying his way to the basket, committing that foul.
And Smith sitting down. Knicks now have a front line of Ewing, Mason, and Bonner. Harper and Starks in the backcourt. 2 minutes. Hardaway isolated on Starks. Ewing coming over. Alexander. Rebound. Gatling rejected by Ewing, and he's tied up. Patrick Ewing rejecting Chris Gatling, and Don Nelson is upset with Gatling.
Yes, he's all over Gatling. Very, very upset. Gatling did a nice job here getting this rebound, got the good position. He competes well. I think perhaps he may be unhappy that he didn't take the ball to the basket instead of kind of falling back. That way he would have demanded being fouled.
Starks and Harper working to Mason. Mason to the reverse. Become a favorite shot of Anthony Mason. Hardaway off the pick. And Hardaway with another three-pointer, 6 for 9 overall. And he's 3 of 5 from downtown. 15 points for Hardaway. The score is tied at 34.
So Don Nelson said, we're going to have to play like the Knicks tonight, which meant slow it down. The score is tied with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the half, and Don Nelson's looking pretty good right now with his game plan.
7-0 run by Golden State, and some boos from the crowd.
A moment ago, Nelson at Gatling, the man who got the offensive rebound, drew the foul, or rather made a good shot at it anyway, and the coach was still all over him. Nelson, a perfectionist. That's why he's so difficult to play for.
Wood on the reverse, and he drew the foul. Strong move by David Wood. Anthony Mason called for the foul, and Wood to the line. David Wood, an 80% free throw shooter. So Golden State has taken a 35-34 lead. Warriors have lost the last two. They've been blown out at both. Lost to the Bulls in Chicago on Sunday. Previous game last Friday in Boston. Lost to the Celtics by 26. In fact, in the fourth quarter, they were outscored by 26 points by Boston, 37-11.
22 turnovers in that game, and that killed them.
Ewing off a double team, changed his mind, threw it into a crowd. And off the scramble, Ewing gets to it. But it's a 24-second violation. 27 seconds to go in this first half.
Pat Riley hoped it would be an easy one tonight. It certainly had the looks of it coming in. And he's going to have a lot to say at halftime now.
Hardaway walking it up.
Take this, John. Take this.
Knicks have been out-rebounded slightly in the first half, and they've shot the ball poorly.
Down to 15, 12 on the shot clock. Jennings lost it. Trying to put the fake on Starks, and the lively dribble got away from him.
Starks challenged him, and that created confusion.
So the ball goes back to the Knicks. Hubert Davis will replace Anthony Bonner. Knicks want some additional shooting on the floor. And Wayne Morton comes on for Chris Gatling. The Knicks are down by 2 with 12 seconds remaining in the half. 9 unanswered points by Golden State. 5 seconds to go. Hopper. And he's tied the game at 36. And now Mike Mathis blows the whistle. The basket counts. 2 1/10 seconds to go. And a technical foul called on Mason. Anthony Mason called for the technical. And also a personal foul on Mason. We did not get a look as to why the technical was called. Jennings too strong in shooting the technical. And now David Wood getting set to go to the line, but a 20-second timeout is being called. So the Knicks take a timeout with 2 1/10 seconds remaining in this first half. Let's take a look back at the play and see if we can tell why the technical foul was called.
Mason with that strong right arm almost dismantling David Wood on that play, and then probably had something to say, which seems to always be the problem when Anthony gets a technical called on him. It stems from his verbal response, which continued after the technical was called. He can't hold it in.
Knicks are over the foul limit, so Wood is at the line. Game time at 36, and now these are the personal free throws being taken by Wood. So David Wood with his 7th point. Terrence Hopper able to hit that jump shot to end the 9-0 run by the Warriors.
Hopper will do more of that, being guarded by the 5'7" Keith Jennings.
Ryan Hopper for Ewing. Waved off, would not count. Mike Mathis said no, too late. Only 15 points for the Knicks in the second quarter. You can hear the reaction from the crowd. 13 points in a quarter equals the fewest for the Knicks this season. They score 15, and a very poor first half performance. It's the Warriors 38, the Knicks 36. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk. We'll be right back.
Just because you have a mortgage.
Don't you think it's kind of loud?
Tonight, so I kind of added a little pizzazz to my wardrobe.
And so you are, Clyde. Now Don Nelson's game plan's worked out well.
Yeah, it's worked to perfection. Normally what he's doing is slowing down the pace, getting the Knicks out of it by not allowing them to get into transition. So the Knicks have been frustrated.
All right, let's look at the highlights as if the tie isn't enough. They're brought to you by Minolta, makers of the new 700 SI. Minolta, the official camera of the Garden. And once again, Anthony Bonner, very solid, very active. Only 4 points and 3 rebounds, but he always seems to be doing much more than his numbers.
And one of the few transitional hoops by the Knicks. Good dish by Mason. Bonner with the ferocious stuff here, but that was rare.
Not a bad first half, Clyde, for Patrick Ewing. 8 points, 9 rebounds, but you expect him to do more.
Right, because he hasn't had his normal fluidity. Watch this play. Ewing stumbling and bumbling. Not very graceful underneath, but his persistence pays off.
Persistence. Tim Hardaway out there running the show for the Golden State Warriors. 6 of 9, 15 points.
Yeah, Hardaway got 6 feet. So he must be exasperated by this slow-down pace, but vexing the Knicks with the jumper.
And Victor Alexander's not doing a bad job of matching Patrick Ewing's numbers. 8 points, they're even there, and 6 rebounds to Ewing's 9.
Well, when the Knicks offense suffers, so does their defense. Here allowing the penetration, and the recipient is Alexander with the stuff shot.
Well, that sets the stage for the second half as we look forward to Marvin John's call. The Knicks trying to overcome the Warriors without Ronnie Cycli, without Latrell Sprewell. But they do have Tom Gugliotta back on the floor. And we'll check in with Marvin John when we come back. Clyde, be good on the radio.
Thanks, Al.
Charles Minlin, Zendon Hamilton, Felipe Lopez. Don't miss St. John's as they battle UConn live from the Garden Saturday night on MSG2. Hungry? Want Knicks tickets? Want a new Eagle Vision TSI? Enter the Reese's Eagle Vision TSI Big Shot Contest for your chance to take center court at a Knicks game to shoot for the grand prize, a 1995 Eagle Vision TSI. Lucky winners will receive 2 tickets to a Knicks home game, dinner at Reese's legendary Toot Shore restaurant, and a shot at winning an Eagle Vision TSI. To enter, stop by any participating Reese restaurant for your official entry form.
On your mark, get set. It's the 21st anniversary of the Colgate Women's Games at Madison Square Garden. Catch the highlights from the exciting finals of this major track and field event here on MSG. New York City's best and foremost scholastic female athletes compete for the Jackie Joyner Kersey Trophy and more. See determination, commitment, and athletic excellence in action. It's the highlights from the Colgate Women's Games, the stepping stone for future Olympic hopefuls. February 20th on MSG.
February melts the winter cold with red-hot sports action on MSG Network. The New York Rangers are back in action as they battle some of their top Eastern Conference rivals. They take on the Montreal Canadiens, the Florida Panthers, plus Pat LaFontaine and the Buffalo Sabres. The New York Knicks bang the boards against some NBA powerhouses. They battle the Houston Rockets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, plus Shaq and the Orlando Magic. Stay tuned after most Knicks and Rangers home games and see some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play. February brings the return of one of the nation's oldest sporting traditions. Don't miss the 119th annual Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. College hoops continues its fast break towards March Madness. You'll see Cincy, Rhode Island, UMass, and St. Louis, plus 6 more big St. John's games. Today's hard-hitting sports issues are the hot topic every month as Bob Page hosts Page 1. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a blast with all the great February sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver smart solutions for you. And by Mobile, the station that helps you by accepting more credit and ATM cards than any other station.
Back on MSG, in MSG, the Golden State Warriors lead the Knicks by 2 heading into the second half of tonight's game. Now, Derek Harper donates $25 for every assist. MetLife joins him, and he is joined there by Bob Pizzuti and Kathy O'Brien of MetLife in presenting a check to Edward L. Gardner, chairman of the board of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. It's a total of $7,000 for all the passing off he did last year in an effort to help out Big Brothers and Big Sisters of New York. Congratulations to Derek Harper as he and his teammates prepare for the second half. Marv and John standing by, I hope.
Actually sitting, John, but...
Thank you, Al.
Yeah. I'll look at the stats in the first half. Warriors 13 of 33, 39%, while the Knicks 14 of 34, so a poor shooting first half. In terms of three-point shots, 4 of 11, Golden State. Knicks 4 of 9. Assists, Warriors with 10, and the Knicks with 9. And turnover department, Golden State 1 more than New York. A look at the Toyota matchup, and Hardaway off to a terrific start.
Well, as horrible as it is to comprehend for Pat Riley, if the second half repeats the first half, the Knicks lose to the Golden State Warriors, who have a third of a team. And that's That's unacceptable in a big way, so the Knicks had better get to work fast.
Alexander giving the Warriors a 4-point lead. First appearance of the game for Carlos Rogers. Starting the second half, and he's called for the foul. Rogers, a rookie from Tennessee State. Only 3 players remaining on the Golden State bench. Tom Gugliotta did warm up at the start of this second half, but Starks tried from 3-point range. But it's a question mark as to whether he'll return. He's back in the locker room. Gugliotta bruising his right knee. Hopper for Smith. Starks for 3. And the rebound taken by Rogers.
Well, Marv, the Knicks offense calls for 16-foot jump shots as opposed to 20-some-odd foot jump shots against this Golden State team. There's no need to bomb away. A couple of passes extra at the offensive end will break Golden State down. They have every right to be tired. They're not together. They're a bunch of strangers on the court in many ways because they don't have their regular guys. So the Knicks have to be smart. Work them on defense. Wear them down. But it's got to happen with patience.
Foul called on Ewing, his first, and now Starks picks up the holding call. John Starks, 2 of 9 from the field and 1 of 7 from downtown. He's missed his last 7 shots. The Knicks with only 15 points in the second quarter. That equals a Warrior opponent season low. 36 halftime points, the second fewest by a Warrior opponent. This tells you how bad it has been for the Knicks. And they're trailing 40-36. Wood is fouled, and he will go to the line. Foul on Monty Williams.
See, now the smart thing that Don Nelson Golden State has gotten away with by slowing the ball down as he did in the first half, as he said he was going to do. The Knicks only got 34 shots at the basket in the first half. So if you do that twice, that's 68. The other day against Phoenix, the Knicks had 86 shots at the basket. Against Golden State earlier this season, 84 shots at the basket. So by giving the Knicks fewer chances at shooting the ball, by slowing the ball down, they increase their chances of controlling the game. And that's what they've done thus far.
Oh, what a move by Monty Williams. The ball fake. And then the drive. Golden State 42 and the Knicks 38. The Knicks with their first bucket of the third quarter. Wood got the step. Nice move by David Wood. And it's Golden State by 6. Wood has 12 points. Just received word that Tom Gugliotta will not return because of that bruised right knee. Monty Williams rejected by Victor Alexander. Here's Tim Hardaway delivering to David Wood. Rebound Alexander. Hardaway backs to 3-point territory. And the Warriors now in the midst of an inspired effort, leading the Knicks 47-38. And again, the Knicks hear the boos from the crowd.
Not exactly.
There's a Perry Ellis look at some of the Knicks' problems. The ball goes inside, little double teaming action, give it up. Monty Williams with a nice fake. The lane opens up. Alexander denies Monty Williams the shot. That opens up the field for David Wood's layup. Alexander on the quick scoop, and they get a better shot now. They get a 3-point shot from Tim Hardaway, and they're rolling.
The biggest lead of the night for Golden State. They're up by 9. Ewing, yes. Warriors 47. The Knicks 40. Ewing with 10 points. A backcourt of Hardaway and Morton up front. Alexander with Rogers and Wood. Ewing off the steal. Whoa, almost a backcourt violation. for three. And knocked out by Smith. And John Starks 2 of 10 overall. And 1 of 8 from downtown. Hopper now trying to make things a bit more difficult for Hardaway. And a foul on Harper. That is his second. Look out.
Hardaway is showing up Derek Harper with that move, and Harper, a very sensitive defender and person, didn't dig it. Also, Marv, we turned it back to our visit to Golden State when Hardaway made remarks about the Knicks defense not being so hot, and he got a lot of attention in the papers out there. He apologized to us later after the game in a jovial type manner, but he's a cocky guy, and so is Harper. And Harper didn't dig the fancy handling of the ball. Take a look at it now. A little unnecessary jiggling of the ball, and that little elbow at the end really was the topping.
So Derek Harper hit with the technical. This should be a most interesting matchup the rest of the way between Harper and Hardaway. Warriors have a 7-point lead. Rogers did not play at all in the first half, starting here in the second, and for Rogers, that is his first field goal. Injury problems this season. Drafted 11th overall by Seattle, then dealt to Golden State with Ricky Pierce in the trade for Sarunas Marciulionis and Byron Houston. Foul is called. John Wood.
Well, I was looking at Seattle roster. Marciulionis 9 points a game. Houston hardly getting any time. It's a strange pairing out there. Not much happening. Well, Seattle's doing very well. Might just be a matter of the numbers game working against those players.
John, digging into my personal file, I did come up with the article from the San Francisco Chronicle in which Tim Hardaway, as you mentioned, quoted as saying he was unimpressed with the Knicks defense. This is reacting to the fact that the Knicks were coming off their very strong defensive season last year. He said the Knicks defense is overrated, so he likes playing them. Mike Mathis with the call against the Knicks. There it is. Charles Smith called for the foul. George Shirk writing in the Chronicle of San Francisco. It says, I like playing them. I like them because they think they've got such a great defense. But if they don't, if they're supposed to have all this D they say they have won, meaning the championship last year against Houston. They think they can stop anybody in the league, but they can't stop nobody. That was just Tim Hardaway mouthing off. He'll do that from time to time. And as you mentioned on the post-game interview, he did kind of apologize with a smile.
He was feeling real good after that win. He had a good game and his team won. Tim Hardaway last year was a television viewer, though. He was out the whole season with the ligament injury that kept him out. But he's come roaring back with fine play and a big mouth.
Alexander called for the foul. Golden State leads by 10. Now, midway through the second quarter, the Knicks led 34-27. And since then, they've been outscored 24-7. Harper, that's a three for Derek Harper. 7-point lead for the Warriors. And Harper has had the hot hand. 5 out of 6, 13 points. He's hit 3 of 4 from three-point land. Ewing helping out. And Ewing gets back to Alexander. Alexander, rebound Rogers. And now Ewing handles. Harper for three. Derek felt it, no hesitation at all. Rogers! Set up beautifully by Hardaway.
He's 6'11", and he's mobile.
Very lively body. Starks for three. Yes. John Starks getting back into the scoring column. And it's a 6-point Golden State lead, and the Knicks are now showing some signs.
Right after that move of Starks, Knicks looking like they want to get things moving quicker. Nelson looked out at his team, put his arms down as if to indicate, slow it down, fellas.
Starks using the pick. Ewing. Foul. Fouled by. Fouled by Morton. Wayne Morton trying to help out. Picks up his first, fourth team foul on the Warriors. Knicks already over the limit. 6 minutes to go. Third quarter. Bad pass by Hoffer. Here comes Rogers. Mason chasing him down and call for the foul. And a good move by Anthony Mason preventing the drive. Anthony showing some court speed. That's his third foul.
Mason has speed. Rogers has made quite an impression here in the opening minutes of the third quarter.
Carlos Rogers, though, a very poor free throw shooter, 51%.
That's the father on the left and the son on the right. The Nelson boys.
And to their right, Rod Higgins, who began the season as an active player, now an assistant coach with the Warriors, along with Bob Lanier. Rogers converting 1 of 2, and the Warriors now lead 54-47. Ewing, that's a goaltend. Carlos Rogers can leap. But it is a goaltend. Ewing getting credit, and the Knicks are within 5. Keith Jennings back on the floor. Jennings now guarded by Hoffer, and Starks moves over to Hardaway. Jennings for Hardaway for 3. Tim Hardaway is putting on a show. He now has 21 points, and he's 5 of 7 from downtown. Off the steal, here comes Jennings. Delivers to Rogers. Will be Nick Ball.
When Ewing puts the ball on the floor, he's got to be ultra careful, because most teams will double him or come at him with more than one man. That's what happened. You didn't see the man coming at him.
Just under 5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Ewing did not have the shot. Hoffer for 3. Yes. Derek Hoffer with his 4th three-pointer. Golden State 57. The Knicks 52. Warriors have won only 4 of 20 on the road. This is their 4th of 5 games on an 8-day road trip. Wood fires the 3. David Wood with 15 points. He comes in averaging 4 points per game. 8-point Golden State lead.
Golden State offense is jump shooting.
Ewing got the step. The Knicks have to be happy that the pace of the game is picked up here in the third quarter. Warriors now lead 60-54.
Golden State walks the ball up court in their attempt to control the game, as they did in the first half.
Keith Jennings and David Wood for 3. And Ewing with the rebound. Jennings bothering Williams, who was able to rescue. Ewing, yes. Good look from Hoffer to find Ewing. And Golden State leads 60-56. Trying to get the idea the Knicks have gotten down to a serious basketball here in the third after the slow start in the third quarter. There's the crossover by Hardaway. Oh, Tim Hardaway putting a beautiful move on John Starks.
The famous crossover dribble of Tim Hardaway. It's beautiful to watch him work.
6-point lead for Golden State. Starks finding Mason. Mason batting it back out. Williams with the rebound. Monty Williams off the offensive board. And the Warriors now lead by 4. Second field goal for Williams. He has 5 points, 2.5 to go. Third quarter. Hardaway directing traffic. Alexander given the room. Shot clock at 5. Jennings, 2 on the shot clock. Rebound Alexander. And rebounded by Mason. Mason eluding Jennings. Mason for Williams. Ball fake. Yes! Oh, what a sequence. Oh, that's one of the prettier Knicks fast breaks of the season.
The Rangers head for Pittsburgh to take on Jaromir Jagr and the Penguins Wednesday night right here on MSG.
Save me! Save me!
If art
Go to defense. Hands the ball off. Oh, that beautiful look. That look away fake by Monty Williams in the layup really lit up Madison Square Garden, and Pat Riley hopes his team as well.
8-2 run by the Knicks, who have hit on 10 of 18 from the field. Here in the third quarter, Golden State 8 of 15. The Knicks are within 2 after trailing by as many as 10 points to this undermanned Golden State Warrior team. They came in with 9 able bodies. They started the day with 10. However, Clifford Rozier missed the shoot-around and was suspended for tonight's game. That cut it down to 9. And Tom Kugliana suffered a bruised right knee. He is out the rest of the way. Oh, beautiful move by Keith Jennings, but could not complete it. Here comes Starks. Warriors get back. Mason facing Gatling now. Hoffer for 3. Batted away by Ewing. Mason on the recovery. Starks for 3. Yes! And the Knicks lead by 1. Mike Mathis blowing the whistle. And it appears a double foul is being indicated. David Wood, Anthony, and Monty Williams called for the double foul in battling for position. So John Starks has given the Knicks a 63-62 lead. 11-2 run by the Knicks, and Starks has come out of the drought. He now has 11 points. He's now 3 of 10 from downtown. Starks called for the foul, looking for the steal, and for John, that is his 3rd. So the Knicks over the foul limit, and Tim Hardaway will go to the line. Tim Hardaway sat out all of last season because of a torn anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee. Also had to miss the World Championships in Toronto. He had been named to Dream Team 2. Here's Dwayne Morton, start of the game, second-round pick out of Louisville. Back on the floor, David Wood sitting down.
Nice quote in the press guide of Golden State. Tim Hardaway commenting on his own game. When I'm on my game, I don't think anyone can defend me. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one out there just by myself, like no one can stop me.
And Tim Hardaway has been on the floor for the entire game. Tied at 63. Mason. Anthony Mason to the reverse off a quick move, and the Knicks are up 65-63. For Mason, his first field goal. 45 seconds remaining in the third. Alexander with 6 on the shot clock for Hardaway. Eluding Starks. Mason pulls it down. Leads Starks to the reverse. Rebound Gatling. Beautiful pass, the outlet thrown by Mason. And Starks could not hit in the heavy traffic. 20 seconds remaining third quarter. The Knicks turning it around after trailing by 10. They lead by 2. Gatling with 10 seconds. Gatling. An air ball, 24-second violation. And the Knicks will have an opportunity for a last shot. Hubert Davis checking in for Monty Williams, who hears the applause. The Knicks have closed with a 13-3 spurt. Clock being readjusted. 4 3/10 seconds remaining. Hopper trying to get a bit closer. Gets it off. That's the end of the third, and the Knicks lead 65-63.
It all begins.
Come on, let's go again.
So there.
For pleasure, nobody does it exactly like hers. And by the Cadillac Tri-Statesman, the Cadillac dealers of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
Our Delta Airlines upcoming Knicks schedule says the Knicks will be at practice the next 2 days, getting ready for Philadelphia, and then Orlando, and then Milwaukee. Orlando, game to be televised on NBC Sunday at 1 o'clock. Knicks game night for Philadelphia and Milwaukee will be at 7 p.m. There is Manute Bol. All 7-6 of him. Here tonight, he's out with an injury, as half of the roster of Golden State seems to be, including Tom Gugliotta, who we lost during the game tonight. Hurt his knee.
Ball out with a knee problem. Good third quarter. The scoring picking up. Knicks outscoring the Warriors 29-25, and they lead 65-63. Here's Davis as the fourth quarter gets started. Knicks 12 for 23 in the third quarter, able to pick the pace up to the dismay of Warriors head coach Don Nelson. Now Davis trying his hand at Hardaway, backs it up, looking to set up the crossover, and then gives it to Jennings. Gatling rejected by Mason. Just didn't get it on. Now that's a 24-second violation. Hardaway did not make contact with the rim. The Knicks closing out the third quarter with a 13-3 run. And the Knicks are going here with 3 guards, Hopper, Davis, and Starks, along with Ewing and Mason. David Wood is guarding Hubert Davis. And a foul is called. Illegal defense, which upsets Don Nelson.
That came about because Derek Harper was going to post up 5'7" Jennings, and Golden State reacted quickly in the form of an illegal defense.
That is Mr. Jennings. He prefers Mr. Jennings. Starks for 3. And a technical foul has been called on Don Nelson. Don Nelson has been upset right through this second half. And he seems to be mystified by the call, but obviously said something sarcastic. He was upset just a moment ago about that illegal defense call.
As you said, Marv, he's been chipping away throughout the game in his Nelson-like fashion. He has a presence on the sideline, talking to his players constantly and the officials. And sometimes you go over the line when you keep doing it.
The Knicks 69 and the Warriors 63. Anthony Bonner has come out. So Bonner and Mason with the 3 guards. Good save by Wood. Shot clock at 6. Wood battles his way. Alexander gets to it. Go, big. A Mason battling with Alexander, trying to front him. Alexander rebounded by Mason.
Well, we've said that a lot lately, Mark. Mason's taken over the rebounding chores, clearly.
5 in all. Anthony Mason starts for 3. He hit his last 3 from downtown. Good box out by Chris Gatling.
You mentioned Keith Jennings dribbling the ball up court, nicknamed Mr. The description is his father named him Mr. And that's the beginning and the end of that drama. He's the shortest player in the 48-year history of Golden State.
Oh, nice pass by Jennings when the foul is called. John with the stories behind the stories. Foul is charged to Bonner. And Gatling will go to the line.
Now here's a better story, Mark. Gatling, for the last 12 games, has been wearing a headband. And sometimes he wears a blue one. Averages 14 points a game. Sometimes he wears a gold one. Averages 14 points a game with the gold. 5 games with the gold, 7 with the blue. The average is going to be shaken up tonight the way things are going.
John, you know,
How do you like that?
Might be a nice idea. I know you like to position yourself for the Pat Riley news conference. Perhaps you can work your way over there now. And, you know, we'll try to make do here in the fourth quarter. Al can slip in. 5.5 remaining.
Criticizing the work of
in the fourth.
Julie Marble, Golden State.
Strong research. Bonner rejected by Gatling. Starks for 3. And rebounded by Hardaway. The Knicks 69 and the Warriors 65.
Knicks with a very small lineup out there for what they usually present. Bonner is the big man height-wise.
Wood on a pull-up. David Wood has played well. He has 17 points. He's 4 of 7 from the field and 7 of 8 from the line. David Wood, in his 5th NBA season, out of Nevada, Reno, a guy who has been around. Gilbert Davis knocks down a 3. And the Knicks now lead 72-67. 9 points for Davis.
Oh, the 3-guard approach Pat Riley's using now with Hubert Davis, John Starks, and Derek Harper is still bigger than what Golden State has. Hardaway at 6 feet tall. Oh, a nice move. Got a usually reliable defender, Anthony Bonner, sleeping.
3-point Knick lead with 8:20 to go in the fourth. Wood on the steal. And he's fouled by Harper. So Harper's pass picked off. David Wood then drew the foul, and Harper called for his 3rd. Patrick Ewing is back. Now the Knicks go to a more conventional lineup. Ewing with Mason and Bonner up front. The Warriors playing the clock down, getting back to their first half methods. Nice lead pass, and the Warriors want the goaltend. They get it, and a foul. And Gatling is obviously hurting.
This is unbelievable for this team. Fortunately, he jumps up. What a beautifully executed play by Tim Hardaway.
Landed on his hand in the collision with photographers behind the basket.
Pick and roll play. Gatling, the recipient of that beautiful bounce pass. They knew that was coming. That was a rehearsed play many times over.
Cameraman and a photographer.
2 chances to make 1 shot for Chris Gatling.
Well, apparently a flagrant foul was called on Bonner. So it's a 2-for-1 because the basket counted on the goaltend. It's an odd one. We don't see this very often. 2-for-1, and he misses on both. Gatling is a very poor foul shooter, just under 50% for the season, and off the flagrant foul call, it is Golden State ball. Ryan Lothridge has come on for the first time, rookie from Jackson State. So now the complete roster available has been utilized. Alexander gives the Warriors a 1-point lead, a 10-3 run by Golden State. 7:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. They doubled up on Davis. Hopper, yes. Three-pointer for Derek Hopper. He is 5 of 8 from three-point land, has 19 for the game. And the Knicks lead 75-73, and the Knicks are now 11 of 23 from downtown. How about Phoenix on Sunday? An NBA record 39 three-point attempts. They were 10 for 39. They were just firing away from all angles in the fourth quarter in an effort to get back into it.
And the Knicks total to that, there was a new NBA record for three-point field goal attempts on Sunday with 61 total field goal attempts from three-point range.
Gatling called for the foul, offensive foul. The Knicks with a 2-point lead. Mason puts the move on Gatling. Again to the reverse. Yes, it counts. Anthony Mason refining that move. He will go to the line, but first, a timeout is called.
Five tonight. You look at the totals of the two teams already. 39 three-point field goal attempts have been taken. The Knicks with 11.
Team record is 12, equal twice this season against Minnesota and Utah. Did it back in November of '93 against Miami, so they're one away from tying the team record. John Starks picking it up. Hit 3 of his last 4 from downtown. That flagrant foul has been changed from Anthony Bonner to Hubert Davis. It was Davis called for that flagrant a moment ago. Anthony Mason not able to complete the three-point play after that beautiful reverse drive. The Knicks 77 and the Warriors 73. 6:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Alexander. Victor Alexander has 16 points. Victor Alexander in his 4th year out of Iowa State. Very good shooter, 53% from the field last season. His only problem doing it at the foul line. It's always odd when a guy can shoot that well from the outside. Bonner looking for the move, and he's called for steps.
Well, when you see that happen, you wonder why a guy doesn't do what Hal Greer used to do, Marv. Remember Hal Greer from the Philadelphia Warriors shooting jump shots at the foul line. He'd be shooting his foul shots and put a little jump on it. Very effective.
The difference is nobody, as you know, nobody in front of him seems to psych out some people. This is Lothridge, who came in just moments ago, and he draws the foul. Ryan Lothridge, rookie from Jackson State, who was averaging 20 a game in the CBA. Davis picked up the foul. Lothridge not selected in the NBA draft. Did spend time this summer in the Nets rookie and free agent camp, and also spent the portion of preseason with the Nets, and was signed first to a 10-day contract and then for the remainder of the season by the Warriors, throwing a brick on that first attempt for the season. He's 14 of 22 at the line.
Bob, you might be interested in Ryan's nickname. Very creative phrasing of Blind Ryan.
The Knicks 77 and the Warriors 75. Parks and Davis at the guards, and Bonner, Mason, and Ewing up front. Down to 6 on the shot clock, and Lothridge is called for the reach-in. The Knicks trying to make it 16 of the last 18, 8 of the last 9. And a win tonight would move them within 6.5 of Orlando. Orlando not scheduled. Gilbert Davis continues to succeed with the drive. 11 points for Davis, and the Knicks lead is now 4.
Hard to believe this is the 42nd game of the season for the Knicks. So the beginning of the second half begins with this game tonight. It's flying by.
27-14 at the midway point. They were 30-11 at the halfway mark last year. Bonner on the foul. And for Anthony Bonner, that is number 4. With the Knicks over the foul limit, Gatling will go to the line. Gatling only 49% at the free throw line. 4 of 6 here tonight. Call him the Energizer. His hustle and energized play. He was an important player for the Warriors when it was going well.
He got an award last year, annual Jack McMahon Award, for being recognized as the team's most inspirational player. And Jack McMahon certainly a name familiar to New York basketball fans from the St. John's days and NBA days, as well as a player and a coach on a world champion St. Louis Hawks in '58.
And the ball back to the Knicks. Hardaway has not scored here in the 4th quarter. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th. The Knicks 79 and the Warriors 77. Bonner with a bad decision.
It's not the Anthony Bonner that Knicks fans know. It's an imposter.
Got caught. Thought he had the room. And then it was picked off. Lothridge, played by Davis. And a hand check called on Gilbert Davis. That's his 3rd foul. Now Derek Harper will come on for Anthony Bonner. 4 points, 5 rebounds for Bonner. For the Warriors, this a road trip that began last Thursday as they snapped a 14-game road losing streak with an overtime win against the Bullets in Landover. But since then, they've dropped 2 straight. They have been blown out by the Bulls in Chicago, by the Celtics in Boston. Lothridge at the line, and he is having his problems. 0 for 3 at the foul line. Now 14 for 24 at the line this season. This is only his 8th NBA game. The Knicks lead is now 1. Davis played by Wood. Ewing off the fake. Fouled by Alexander. That is 4 on Victor Alexander. So Patrick Ewing, who has been to the line only twice, will shoot a couple. And for the game, the Knicks have had only 10 free throws, 6 for 10, while Golden State 19 for 30. The Knicks 80 and the Warriors 78. Warriors play at Atlanta tomorrow, wrapping up the road journey Friday back home for the LA Clippers. The Knicks resume Friday against the Sixers in Philly, and then they face the Orlando Magic Sunday afternoon at the arena in Orlando. Lothridge moving on Davis, and Lothridge has tied the game at 80. Ryan Lothridge
Alfred. All the coach wants is to be in position to win a game, and Don Nelson's team has gotten to that status.
Ewing. Oh! Rebound, Mason. Mason backing Gatling. Goes to the fadeaway. And the Warriors take possession with 3 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Gatling lost it. Gatling felt that he was fouled.
Like I said, they're now going with 3 guards as they have for the last several minutes.
For 3. Yes. And that ties a Knicks franchise record. Their 12th three-pointer. They lead now 83-80. Hoffer with his 6th from downtown. He has 22 points.
Stay tuned after most Knicks and Rangers home games and hear from some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play right here on MSG.
News 12's all-new morning lineup. More weather and traffic to help you get your day started. More business news from Wall Street. More of what's happening in your community. And more of the news that's made us Long Island's first choice for local news. It all kicks off at 6 a.m. News 12's morning lineup. What you need, when you need it most.
You can save me and dozens.
Page 1. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a blast with all the great February sports action on MSG Network. The best in the game.
Golden State Warriors have made this one difficult for the Knicks. Trail only by 3, 2:27 to go. Anthony Mason with a little gentle defense. Look at how he reaches in on Gatling. No foul. Oh, is he lucky on that one? But he made the play that went in the direction of the Knicks. The Knicks' 3 guards moved that ball around the perimeter, stretching out Golden State's defense. Derek Harper, who has been reliable from the perimeter all night long, hits that shot.
So the Knicks with their 12th three-pointer to tie a franchise record. And they lead 83-80. Hardaway for Alexander. Rebound Harper. Has not scored in this fourth quarter. Oh, Mason able to recover. Just under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Ewing putting the moves on Alexander. Beautifully done by Patrick Ewing. 19 points along with 13 rebounds. And the Knicks now lead by 5. Foul is called. Whip pass intended for Wood. Starks collects his 4th, and David Wood, who has been spending much time at the line, will head right back. He's 7 of 8 from the line.
Tell you, in no way does a coach lose a game and feel good about it. But I can't imagine how Don Nelson can't feel anything but good after this effort. Talk about getting the most out of what you have.
The Knicks have taken a 20-second timeout with 1:40 to go in this fourth quarter. Friday night, the Knicks resume against the 76ers at the Spectrum. The Knicks took the first 2 meetings against the Philadelphia 76ers, including that overtime win in early December at the Spectrum. We'll be on hand with Knicks game night at 7 to get the proceedings underway. Game time at 7:30, and then Sunday afternoon, it's the Knicks and the Magic in Orlando. The timeout rundown. Knicks have 3 remaining. They just used their 20, and Golden State with 3 plus their 20.
Mentioning Nelson, this is his 2,731st game in the NBA. Half of those as coach and half as a player over 30 years.
Well, Wood gets to the back tap. Golden State down by 4 with a minute and a half remaining. Fourth quarter. They double up on Wood. 10 on the shot clock. Lothridge backs it up. Down to 5 on the 24. Lothridge. Oh, what a shot. Here's a guy in his 8th NBA game out of the CBA, and he has hit 2 huge field goals. 85-83. The Knicks lead is 2.
Doing a great Latrell Sprewell imitation. He kind of looks like him with his physical presence out there.
Offensive foul on Ewing. Providing a massage for Chris Gatling. Ewing is arguing the call, but there's no question about the contact. And the ball back to Golden State. Just under 1 minute left in this fourth quarter. It's only a 2-point Knick lead. Alexander lost it. Double team gets it to Starks. Davis. Knicks milking the clock. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Half minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Starks sets up Mason. Here's Hoffer for 3. Yes! And that is a Knicks franchise record. 13th three-pointer of the game. And it provides the cushion. Knicks by 5 and a timeout called by the Warriors.
Yeah.
Performance tonight. He just gave the Knicks the breathing room that they needed. However, we take a look at some dramatic play by rookie Ryan Lothridge hitting that shot. He waved off Tim Hardaway. You mentioned, Marv, he just got to the NBA and he told the veteran high scorer to get out of my way. I want to do it, and he did. The other end, denial by the Knicks, solid defense. Although Golden State might think there was a foul there. Knicks moving the ball inside, then outside. Derek Harper, Marv, we've said it before, Mr. Big Shot. Derek Harper loves the clutch shots. He is a clutch player, and he does it again with his 7th three-point shot of the night.
And the 7 three-pointers by Derek ties a career high. He hit 7 as a member of the Dallas Mavericks against Miami, March 23rd, 1990. And that three-pointer, the Knicks' 13th of the game. That is a new team record. 23 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks lead 88-83. Warriors looking for a quick shot right here. Lothridge is fouled by Starks. That is not what the Knicks wanted. It stops the clock, and it puts the Warriors at the line because the Knicks are over the limit. And that number 5 by Starks. So Lothridge, who did not play at all in the first half, has emerged as a major factor here in the fourth quarter. He's 1 of 4 at the line, however. 6 points for Ryan Lothridge.
I think Don Nelson is learning something about this cool performer.
Rookie from Jackson State. And the Knicks lead is now 88-85. And the foul is given immediately. It's only the 4th team foul. The next one puts the Knicks at the line. The first, a timeout called by the Knicks. 21 and 5/10 seconds to go in the fourth.
Today's term is give and go. Now this is a give and go. This is a gift. Different thing.
Giving a gift? How about a Fuji DL550 zoom or a Fuji Discovery 90? And nothing's more colorful than prints made with Fuji film.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
So many phones. So many places.
Starks makes this season, Minolta will donate $100 to the John Starks Foundation.
And John tonight 4 of 13 from three-point range. Timeout situation. Warriors of 2 and a 20, and the Knicks with 2 remaining. The Knicks 88 and the Warriors 85. It is Nick Ball as we pick it up with 21 and 5/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Well, from the Golden State perspective, they're tempted to say, well, if we had Latrell Sprewell, first-team NBA all last year, Ricky Pierce, one of the great scorers in NBA history, and Ronnie Cycli, I wonder if they would have helped us tonight. But as we know,
well, you could add Chris.
Nick's performance might have been a lot different too.
Why don't you add Chris Mullen and maybe Rick Barry? You know, John. I mean, you never know how things are going to work.
Just a thought, tantalizing thought for Golden State.
And a foul is called. It is on Lothridge, and that puts the Warriors over the limit. Derek Harper and Tim Hardaway, who were looking to destroy each other earlier, making amends, and John Starks with a tug on the jersey of Hardaway to get him out of earshot of Derek Harper.
Al Troutwig just picked up an interesting observation. The official Mike Mathis asked Anthony Mason on the inbound if he would like to hear the counting of the 5 seconds allowed the player to pass the ball in, and Mason elected to go for the vocal part. Yes, he said he wanted to hear the count. Do you know the officials and the players work together?
Immediate timeout called by the Warriors. John, is this a remedial look at the game here in the final seconds?
It's just insight.
Nice.
And much more. For more information on this and other Knicks road trips presented by Dime Savings Bank, call Unique Events at 212-268-8844. And Marv Albert will be down there too. All the NBC people. Marv will
is this part of the deal?
He'll be available for dinner and breakfast,
absolutely,
and lunch, and autographs and pictures, and a little clinic on how to become a broadcaster, and much more.
Right, John. 19 and 5/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Season high 26 points for Derek Harper. Previous side 25 against Miami. Lothridge shaking off Starks. What a move by Ryan Lothridge. 2-point game, 16 seconds remaining. This one is not over, and Mason threw it away. Miscommunication. He thought Starks was cutting down court. And here's Lothridge for 3. And a foul called on Wood for hooking the arm of Davis. Lothridge going for the 1-point lead after the miscue by Mason and Starks.
I just want to say, Marv, according to my eyes, Lothridge is Sprewell.
Tonight in the fourth quarter, he may well be. That would have given Golden State a 1-point lead. Instead, Davis to the free throw line, 1 for 1 at the line. We're down to 8 seconds to go, and Hilbert coming up short on his first attempt. He has a 79% free throw shooter. It's a 2-point Knick lead, 89-87. Ryan Lothridge with 9 points in this fourth quarter, hitting on 3 of 4, and Davis hits 1 out of 2 to give the Knicks a 3-point advantage. Warriors take a timeout. 8 and 4/10 seconds to go in this fourth, and they will look to set up for the 3 to tie the game.
Pass misread by Mason and Starks. Lothridge getting the ball in the corner with 12 seconds on the shot clock, lets it fly. He's been on such a roll, he's thinking positive. He might have rushed that shot. Don Nelson, the very demanding coach, very supportive of that shot, and his player, who has done some very exciting things here in the fourth quarter.
Warriors down to a 20-second timeout. Knicks have 2 remaining. 3-point lead for the Knicks with 8 4/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Victor Alexander will throw it in. Hardaway, who was 5 for 9 from downtown. Knicks do not want to foul. Hardaway gets it off the 3. Mason played him very well. Anthony Mason with a terrific defensive job on Tim Hardaway and did not commit the foul, and the Knicks very fortunate to come away with the win.
And right after that play, Mason and Hardaway hug, just as the 2 coaches do as they leave the floor.
So the Knicks make it 16 of the last 18, able to beat back a gallant effort by the Golden State Warriors, a Warrior team that has been decimated by injury. Final again, the Knicks 90 and the Warriors 87. Back with the recap in a moment.
John Starks makes 3 points for Minolta. Point 1 is fun. Minolta's 135DX. Watch it zoom. Point 2 is for you. Free your creative eye with this 400SI. It's automatic. Point 3 is a breeze. To replay my play, what's in order? Minolta's camcorder. And every 3 points I hit, Minolta sinks $100 into my foundation, helping high school kids.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
And John Starks.
In business, there never seems to be enough of it. And the last thing you can
played this one just to be around and have a chance, and boy did they to tie this game with Tim Hardaway getting up and under Anthony Mason, who did a great defensive job. It rolls off, and then the buzzer sounded as the Knicks have to breathe a sigh of relief after this one. Don Nelson has to be extremely proud of the discipline that his team showed tonight, and that's what it took to execute his game plan, to run the shot clock down to 8 or 9 and then put the offense in motion. And some respect shown between those 2 coaches. Pat Riley has to respect what Don Nelson got his team to do in the absence of Ronnie Cycli, Chris Mullin, Ricky Pierce, all those players out with injury, and he used every player that he had on his bench tonight, and they did play it close. We'll be back with our usual post-game coverage, but first the latest from Bob Page.
Thanks, Al. Good evening again, everybody. It is amazing when you think that Don Nelson of the Golden State Warriors were favored by many people to win the NBA championship this year, and all the injuries they've had. Al didn't even get around to mentioning Clifford Rozier, the #1 draft choice this season, suspended for tonight's game because he missed a shoot-around here at the Garden earlier today. Well, you've just seen the contest. Most of you here on MSG will take a look at the highlights now. Nelson trying to get everything he possibly could out of this badly undermanned Warriors team. In the first quarter, Knicks pushing it up the floor. Monty Williams finds John Starks cutting to the hole. 12-12 the score there. Knicks led 21-20 going into quarter number 2, where Knicks are on the run again. Starks to Mason. Back to Anthony Bonner for the jam. 25-22. But the Warriors went on a 9-0 tear. Tim Hardaway nails a triple. He had 15 first-half points, 24 in the game. That tied the contest at 34. Near the end of the half, Mason, ever volatile, hit with a technical foul. The Warriors were actually on top at intermission, 38-36. Third quarter, more Knicks frustration. Harper pushes Hardaway and gets another technical foul later in the third. Hardaway, perfect alley-oop to Carlos Rogers. Warriors up 53-44. Pat Riley saw the Knicks rally. It's Derek Harper nailing a triple. Knicks down 57-52. He had 26 points on the game. Moments later, Anthony Mason up court. Nice ball handling. Finds Monty Williams, who puts it in. 62-60. Warriors lead down to 2. Near the end of the quarter, Harper misses the 3. Mason fights for the rebound. Starks gets it, and he doesn't miss on the triple. Knicks ahead 63-62. To the fourth quarter, where big Victor Alexander drives, gets nailed by Bonner. Goaltending by Bonner on the play. Knicks lead was 72-71. Now later on, it's Mason inside. He'll hit the reverse and get the call. He missed the free throw, but the Knicks were up by 4, 77-73. What a great night for Derek Harper. He nails another triple here. Harper had 7 3-pointers on the night. Knicks up 83-80 at this point. Derek wasn't finished either. With the Knicks up 85-83 inside 30 seconds to play. Here's Harper with number 7. It was the Knicks' 13th triple of the game. That is an all-time New York franchise record. The contest still came down to the final seconds. The Knicks had gotten careless earlier. Golden State can tie it. Hardaway off the glass, no good near the buzzer. Ewing rebounds. He had 19 points in the contest, and the Knicks had a very hard-fought victory at Madison Square Garden tonight. Elsewhere in the NBA this evening, Dallas trying to break a 7-game losing streak. They are up 2 at Milwaukee in the fourth quarter. Charlotte leads Washington 81-77. That game also in the fourth quarter. Houston at Denver is at halftime 46-34 is the score there. Late word a couple seconds ago, the Los Angeles Lakers just signed Kurt Rambis, 36 years old, to a 10-day contract. College basketball tonight, as you see, the University of Connecticut had no problems. They just blew out Miami at the Hartford Civic Center. Ray Allen, the UConn star, had 25 points in that contest. Also this evening in college basketball, in the Big East, Boston College leading Pittsburgh 68-66 up on Chestnut Hill in the second half. Canisius over Niagara in the MAC 89-75. Fairleigh Dickinson losing at Rider 62-53 in the second. Yale in a non-conference contest went down to defeat at St. Francis, New York 87-2. Seem to have things well in hand. They are winning at Florida over the Panthers 4-1 in the third period. More from us at 11 o'clock tonight and every night. Now let's rejoin Al Trautwig.
Okay, Bob, we're back putting a nightcap on a Knick victory, 90-87. It was weird, as I said. It was also a little bit strange. John Starks is here with me. John, how did you view this one?
Well, no question, it was an ugly game, but we came out on top. You have to give Golden State a lot of credit. They came in here with a good game plan to slow the ball down, and like you said, stay in the game.
Stay in the game, get a chance, and they did. You told me something interesting, that you really had no idea when you were on the court in the game what their strategy was. It took you a few minutes on the bench to figure it out.
That's true. I kept looking at their possessions and watched what Hardaway was doing, and every possession he was waiting till the clock, you know, get down to 10, then he starts to go into his move.
Maybe that's why Anthony Mason loves coming off the bench so much.
That's true.
John, a record for the team 3-pointers tonight. Again, you shoot 13 of 25. That's better than 50% beyond the stripe, and this is now not a 4 or 5 game stretch. This is a long-term commitment, it seems, by this team to take those shots.
Yes, it is. I think we have the players on the team that can knock down the shot. So, you know, if we keep kicking the ball inside and keep spotting up, and, you know, once the ball comes back out, we in rhythm then. I think Harp did a great job of knocking down some big threes when we need them.
82 games, you can't commit yourself emotionally to everyone equally. Derek Harper hinted over the weekend that maybe the loss in Charlotte was because a lot of people were talking about Phoenix and national television. Is the sluggishness that the team showed tonight maybe a little bit of that as well?
I don't think so. I think, you know, like I say, Golden State came in here with a good game plan, and they took us out of what we wanted to do, you know. They ran a lot of jump defenses at us, and we did what we had to do in order to win the ball game.
It's got to be a good feeling for you. You had a stretch tonight, I think, where you missed 8 or 9 shots in a row, and it can't play on your mind the way it did earlier in the season. You just keep going, and it comes back to you.
No question. I just have to keep shooting the basketball. You know, I don't know what it is at times where, you know, I think I'm pressing a little bit too hard, but I think on the shots that I made, I just calmed down and just let it fly.
Now, the last play of the game was a little bit of a wild sequence. Anthony Mason, good defense as Tim Hardaway lets it go. And Hardaway was someone that you hooked up with after the game and said a few things to. And he's talked about the Knick defense in the past, your first trip out to Oakland. So there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on here. What did the two of you say to each other?
Well, he just said good game. You know, he came in the locker room before the game, and he was kidding with us that, you know, we're going to have to double team him down in the low post, and I told him we're not going to do that tonight, but as you see, we had to.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the ongoing confidence growth of Hubert Davis? That slashing move to the lane now where he goes right or left hand is just falling so consistently. And Monty Williams, too, who just seems better and better every game.
That's true. You know, both of them guys are doing a great job of picking it up. And I think Hubert is doing a great job of shooting the basketball and taking the ball to the basket. When he gets inside, he does a great job of putting the ball in the hole. And you can't say enough about Monty. He's working very hard as a young player, and he's making all the right plays out there on the court.
I can only hope that for all the T-shirts for Oakley's Car Wash that you guys wear, that he's going to bring guys to the Garden and wash your cars here.
I hope so, too.
Oak, are you listening? Well, that's the beginning of our post-game coverage. Thanks to John Starks. We'll be back in a moment with all our usual post-game coverage, but first, let's go to Marv Albert.
All right, Al, so the Knicks make it 16 of the last 18, 8 of the last 9, and very fortunate to come away with a victory against a hustling Golden State Warrior team, undermanned and coming within 3, but the Knicks with the victory to get a split of the season series. Friday night, the Knicks and the 76ers at the Spectrum. The Knicks try to make it 3 out of 3 on the season against Philly. Knicks game night at 7 here on MSG, and we'll be on hand at 7:30 with all the action. Pat Riley's post-game press conference is coming up on the Knicks post-game report. Madison Square Garden announces clothing provided by Perry Ellis Menswear. Marv Albert with John Andres. Al Troutwood coming up next on the post-game show. Stay with us.
New York Knicks basketball has been brought to you by Ice Draft. Taste the future of draft beer. New Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. By Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp, because great hair can't have flakes. By AT&T International Business Services. Let AT&T work for you. By the Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
See track and field's most
New York Knicks postgame report is brought to you by Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps.
In 1 hour and 53 minutes, the first month of 1995 will be over. And the Knicks conclude the month of January with an impressive record of 13-2. The final tonight as they escape 90-87. The Golden State Warriors gave them all they could handle tonight. And the leading scorer's summary is brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Derek Harper was very impressive, especially from long range tonight. Clutch three-pointers, 7 of 10, as the Knicks set a team record with 13 successful three-pointers tonight. Patrick Ewing had 19 points, 8 of 15 from the floor, 14 rebounds too. John Starks, 14 points, shot only 5 of 17, but really came to life in the fourth quarter. Hubert Davis, the confidence growing, as is Monty Williams, 12 points and 7 points, respectively. The story for the Golden State Warriors, Tim Hardaway, 24 points, but nothing in the fourth quarter. That's when he was being pushed aside by Ryan Lorthridge in his 8th NBA game, who had 9 points, some of them very clutch, but he did miss their last attempt. Gatling had 12, Alexander 16, and David Wood had 18 for the Warriors. So you have to look at a game plan, and you have to look at it being delivered successfully by the players of the Golden State Warriors. Yes, they played to cut down the Knicks shots. They only had 71. Knicks finishing the game shooting 48% to 43 for Golden State. What would Pat Riley say about a game like this? Let's find out.
You know, it was a hell of a basketball game, and you know, you just have to give a team credit that, you know, it's been blown out on the road the last 2 games, and, you know, came in with a very solid game plan about, you know, controlling the tempo and isolating people, and, you know, playing pretty much of you know, a game defensively where they were not going to let us post up anything, and it became a scramble game on offense, and it was an isolation game defensively for the most part. And you know, but when you keep things in perspective, it's important to win games regardless of what style is being played, and we made enough big plays and enough big shots, both defensively and offensively, to win, and that's all it's about. So, you know, Derek Harper stepped up big. you know, played like the all-star that he wasn't voted on, which is a travesty. Probably the best player ever in this game to not be voted to an all-star team. And, you know, he hit 7 threes and made every big shot we needed. You know, they're leaving people wide open, so it was just finding the open man and being able to make those shots.
Should it have been this close without Sprewell?
Well, it's not the point. You know, I mean, this, you know, whether it should have been this close or not, you got to give them a lot of credit. They slowed us down to a walk, and, you know, they played a very good game. You know, when they're isolating David Woods and, you know, they're isolating, you know, Lothridge and people, and these guys are making shots and making plays, you got to give them credit. But the important thing is to keep it in perspective. I know everybody thinks, well, it should have been a blowout. That isn't the way it was. And, you know, we did enough things and survived a big turnover at the end to win.
Sense anything extra in Derek? I mean, not that he's
no, he took the day off yesterday. He was fresh. You know, I mean, we played 7 games in 10 nights. You know, we were 6-1, and we, you know, grounded out. We won 3 games on a Texas road trip.
Williams, 2 offensive rebounds and a putback.
He doesn't have an outside shot, but he's got some hops on an offensive board.
He's in double figures.
Good.
So rather than worry about how close they may be?
No, I'm not going to worry about that. You know, if we see that kind of game every night, then you can make the adjustment to it, you know, but we didn't handle the ball well. They did a good job of letting whoever they wanted to catch it that they didn't feel was an offensive threat, and then they just simply re-denied everybody else, and we got caught in the middle without making plays a few times, and but you have to survive games sometimes in this league. Am I happy about it? No, but you got to keep it in perspective. It would have been just as easy for us to lose that game when we didn't.
Can you even conceive of, after the expectations preseason, what the season must be like for Don Nelson?
You know, I can't. I just can't. You know, I mean, you know, yes, Sprewell's out, and they got Pierce out. They got Mullen out. You know, Cycley's out. You know, he's a survivor. You know, he's been through it a lot, and it's got to be very frustrating for him.
Hey, guys. 10:30.
Well, in the coaches' conference brought to you by the New York Times, Pat Riley said he wasn't happy about it, but he deflected criticism of his team, instead choosing to compliment the Golden State Warriors. And this was some fast break. Monty Williams, you think it's going there, but instead it's going there. Back in a moment.
The New York Knicks postgame report is brought to you by Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps.
Knicks made a lot over what they created with their defense, and they did need that until the last play of the game. This was very, very interesting to watch. You could say it was boring because of the slow-down game, but because of Don Nelson's reputation and all he's been through and the injuries and his own pneumonia, this is what he had to come up with. Without Ricky Pierce, he already lost Ronnie Cycley, no Chris Mullen, and in the game he loses Tom Gugliotta. So they slow it down to 8 or 9 seconds on the 24-second clock. He also dipped into his bench in the 4th quarter and sent a player onto the floor, I'm going to be honest, that I never heard of before today. His name is Ryan Lothridge. He was briefly in the Nets preseason camp. This is his 8th NBA game. We're going to show you a sequence where many people in the Golden State area may not know the word chutzpah. They will after they watch this. This is Tim Hardaway, the all-star, the great crossover dribbler. He's telling people where to go on the floor. They post up David Wood. That doesn't work out. Now, this is in the last minute of the game. This is Ryan Lothridge telling Tim Hardaway to go away. This is my shot. Amazing. And then what does he do? He moves in on Hubert Davis and hits it. He hit 4 of 5 in his brief minutes on the floor. Meanwhile, Patrick Ewing tonight in the game, had to grab the stat sheet here, 8 of 15 from the floor, 14 rebounds, 19 points. Victor Alexander did a good job of playing Patrick Ewing tonight as the Golden State Warriors lose by 3. We wonder what kind of respect, though, was earned in the mind of Patrick Ewing. Moments ago, he was in the Knicks locker room. So was our own Michael Kay.
Pat, was that a little more difficult than you thought it would be?
No, we feel that Golden State, you know, they have a good team. I remember when we played them early in the year, I think they were undefeated, but right now things just aren't going well for them. but they slowed the ball down. They made it just a boring game and, you know, a junk game. But I'm just happy that we got the win.
Is that frustrating to play in a game like that?
It was frustrating because, you know, they were trapping and doing all these, you know, things. But, you know, like I said, I'm happy we got the win. We did what we had to do to get the win.
So you don't look at it as though how close they kept it? You're just kind of
No, I'm just happy that we got the win. You know, this game, they got out to a 9-point lead, and it could have went either way. We made all the plays that we needed to play to get make all the plays that we needed to make to get the win.
If you look at their team, like, could you believe some of the names that they had out there? I mean, it was like a no-name team sort of tonight.
But, you know, they know what they were doing, and they were effective doing it. You have to give them a lot of credit.
Is that something you feel during the game? Like, hey, this is a boring game, or what's going on?
Yeah, they slowed it down. You know, they slowed it down. Then when I got the ball, they were doubling me. And it was just